Okay, amazing. Perfect. Okay, well, welcome to the University of Guelph's webinar. We are so glad that you have joined us today. This presentation is specific to the transfer admission process, so if you are thinking of applying, this is for you. We will be recording today's presentation and posting it to our YouTube channel after. I would like to acknowledge that the University of Guelph campuses resides within the lands of the Dish with One Spoon Wampum. We recognize that the Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, Lunipiwak, and Huron-Wendat peoples have inhabited these lands for centuries, and we respect their enduring relationships with these lands. We are committed to working towards decolonization and reconciliation with Indigenous peoples and enhancing the engagement of and supports for First Nation, Inuit, and Métis students. My name is Taylor, and I graduated in 2020 with a Bachelor of Arts and Sciences, with minors in Neuroscience and Family and Child Studies. During my time at Guelph, I lived and worked in housing for a student club called Interhall Council, where I represented resident students and I represented hospitality service as the ombudsperson and was the student link between our amazing campus food and worked on the on-campus bookstore. As you can tell, I absolutely love being involved throughout my time at U of G, and what truly is what made it a memorable experience. One of my favorite locations on campus was our fourth floor in our library, a group study where my friends and I enjoyed studying with our Starbucks and beautiful views of our campus below. A fun fact about my family is that my brother is also a Griffin, and he just graduated this year with a Bachelor of Arts studying music and business. In this presentation, we will cover student life, followed by the city of Guelph and our 16 academic programs. I will then highlight specifics about the transfer application process and how to finance your education. Finally, I will share what makes the student experience at Guelph stand out to me. Please note that everything I will be mentioning in this presentation is also available on our webpage, and you can use the QR code on screen now to find more detailed information. For those of you who have already applied for admission, please be patient as we will be reviewing requirements, deadlines, and how to apply. At the end of the webinar, please use the Q&A to ask questions, and I will also stop the recording at the end of the presentation, so feel free to use that raised hand feature to ask your question. My first time on campus was absolutely magical. It was that perfect sunny fall day that you hope for, where the leaves are beautiful shades of red and orange and the sun shines over the stone buildings and follows you along the brick pathways. I was on campus for fall preview day with my whole family, and it was on that tour that I knew that Guelph was the university for me. You can book a campus tour by using the QR code on screen or by visiting admission.uoguelph.ca/tours. Guelph is a mid-sized university that has a friendly and welcoming community that provides the ultimate student experience. The warm campus vibe extends to the city of Guelph too, where the city of Guelph is one of the top 10 places to live in Canada. It's the perfect balance of city life and small town friendliness, where you can kayak down the Guelph River, attend the almost 200-year-old farmers market, and is only an hour away from the city. Lots of students enjoy living and learning in Guelph, but our location makes it possible to commute from the GTA, Kitchener-Waterloo, or the Hamilton area. We are a mid-sized, comprehensive, and research-intensive university. We receive $146 million in annual research funding and have one of the highest percentages of female STEM students nationally. I chose Guelph because of the welcoming community, stunning green campus, and that it offered the program I was interested in. I am now part of over 190,000 alumni all over the world and cannot wait until my brother walked across that stage to join with me this June. From move-in day to graduation, the University of Guelph is where you'll find yourself. We support our students through counseling services, health and wellness supports, and academic resources, just to name a few, all in our one building on campus with the overarching philosophy of improving life. One to specifically note is our transfer student programs, where there is specific programming just for you during orientation week and the entire academic year. Your current go-to person is Jen McCluskey. You can see her name and information on screen now, and you can also scan the QR code to book a one-on-one meeting with her. At the University of Guelph, we believe that every student who is academically qualified to attend university should be able to do so regardless of financial obstacles. That's why we offer over $32 million in scholarships and bursaries every year. On admission.uoguelph.ca/funding, you'll see that Guelph does a lot to help you out financially, including over 4,000 on-campus jobs, the support of financial aid counselors, and the organization and administration of government student loans. And to find hundreds of available awards, check out our scholarship search tool online, which allows you to filter awards based on your program and other criteria. The University of Guelph offers 16 undergraduate degrees with over 75 different majors and specializations. You can explore all of them using the QR code on screen. Our largest programs are the Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Commerce, and Bachelor of Engineering. We also offer specialized degrees such as the Bachelor of Landscape Architecture, One Health, and the Doctor of Veterinary Medicine. You can choose to complement your degree in over 60 minors. We have a strong focus on experiential learning and opportunities for studying abroad, where you can take what you've been taught in the classroom and put it into practice, like studying sustainable tourism in Cancun. In addition, we have unique pathways with Ontario colleges that set you up to earn your U of G degree in a related field, but I will explain what that means a little later on. Now let's talk about what you need to be admitted to the University of Guelph. Please use the QR code on screen to further explore the specific admission requirements for your program of interest, including prerequisite courses, steps on how to apply, and more. The minimum cumulative average required to be considered for admission varies by program. We encourage you to visit our website to find the minimum required cumulative average for the program you are interested in applying to. Transfer applicants must have completed the 4U level prerequisite courses or equivalents for the program that they are applying to. We do require you to submit your high school transcripts so that we can review them and confirm you've graduated high school and have completed your prerequisites. However, your post-secondary marks are the main factor that the admission committee will consider for admission purposes. Anyone who has attended a post-secondary school is considered a transfer applicant. This is true even if you attended the institution 15 years ago. You are still considered a transfer student, not a mature student. A mature student is someone who has been out of full-time high school for 2 years or more, but who has never enrolled at a post-secondary education or post-secondary school. To be considered for admission as a transfer student, you must have completed at least 1 year of full-time study in a 2 or 3 year diploma program or 1 semester of full-time study in a degree program. To apply to the University of Guelph as a transfer student, you will need to submit an application on the Ontario Universities Application Center, or OUAC. You can apply using the QR code on screen now, which will take you to ouac.on.ca. Once you apply through OUAC, your application is forwarded to our applicant processing team. We will start working with your application file, determine which documents are required, and assign you a University of Guelph email account and a web advisor account. This initial information will be conveyed to you by email to the address that you used to apply. After that, all communication is conducted through your Guelph email account and your web advisor. Your web advisor account allows you to track the status of your application and required documents. I would like to note that there is no direct entry to biomedical science, animal biology, or criminal justice and public policy for transfer students. If you apply to one of these majors, you'll be considered for a different major in the same program. Transfer students are also not eligible for direct entry into co-op, and those who apply to co-op will be considered for the regular program. Once you are a student at the U of G, you can connect with your program counselor to determine whether you are eligible for co-op. And for any more information, you can visit our Co-op Education Career Services webpage. Before we can consider your application complete and send it for review, we need transcripts from the schools you've attended. This includes high school transcripts and all post-secondary transcripts, current or past. If there are significant gaps of time between your studies, you need to tell us what activities you were doing during those times. So for example, working, traveling, volunteering, caring for a family member, or parenting. We accept unofficial documents to be considered for a conditional offer of admission. This means you can submit transcripts in your possession that have been opened, and if you meet the requirements, you could get an offer. If you do get a conditional offer based on unofficial transcripts, you'll need to arrange the submission of official copies by a certain date outlined in your offer letter. You can submit unofficial transcripts through our upload function under the My Documents section in WebAdvisor. You can upload one PDF file per document type, and if you have attended more than one institution, then you will see multiple upload options. Once a document is properly uploaded, it will automatically be marked as received in WebAdvisor. Once we have received your documents, your file is complete. Your application will be forwarded to the admission counselor that is responsible for the program you've applied to. The admission counselors will work with admission committees to evaluate applications and make decisions. Once the admission counselor has received your file, they will evaluate it and a conditional offer can be made with the information and grades that we have received. If more information is needed, we will update your application status on WebAdvisor to communicate that your file is on hold until more documentation is received. Usually this means final grades. This stage of the application process could take weeks, depending on where we are in the admission cycle and when the admission committee can meet. We try to communicate a decision with you, so conditional or needs more information, as soon as possible, but many factors contribute to this timeline, including committee meetings, document deadlines, early entry points, and workflow. The timelines that we're sharing with you today are just estimates and will ultimately depend on the volume of work coming in through our office. Remember, transfer student applications are processed manually by our thorough and awesome admission team. Around deadline dates, we do experience a bit of a bottleneck effect, and we appreciate your patience in advance as we work through this number of files and records coming into our office at once. Here are the application and document submission deadlines available for entry points in 2025. The application deadline is the date by when you need to submit your application on OUAC and pay the application fee. The document submission deadline is the date by which all of your documents must be received by the undergraduate admission services at the University of Guelph. The deadline to apply for admission for the next available entry point is winter 2025 is November 1st, 2024, and documents are due December 1st. Please note, entry points available differ based on program, but we do have 3 available. The application for winter, summer, and fall 2025 are now open on the Ontario University's Application Center, and you are able to apply now. You can use the QR code on screen to do so. Please note that most programs review applications and extend offers of admission on a continuing rolling basis. And so for this reason, you are strongly encouraged to apply and submit your documents well before these deadlines. It's also important to note that the Bachelor of Landscape Architecture has a March 1st application and background information form deadline. Transfer applicants are welcome to submit a personal support letter to supplement their application. Note that the support letter is optional unless it's specifically requested in the document section of your University of Guelph applicant WebAdvisor account. There is no specific guidelines for content or formatting other than to submit the letter to applicant@uofguelph.ca as a Word or PDF document attachment after you have applied. Most students keep this letter to 1 to 2 pages and use it to explain or elaborate on extenuating circumstances that may have affected their grades in the past, their reasons for applying to the University of Guelph, and their future academic or career goals. Applicants must submit a background information form to be considered for admission to the Associate Diploma in Turfgrass Management and the Bachelor of Landscape Architecture. The deadline for both these documents is March 1st. Now we'll move on to a topic that you're probably wondering about, transfer credits. A reminder that all transfer admission information is available on our website as well, and you can use the QR code on screen now to take you there. To evaluate and assess your transcript for transfer credits, the admission counselor will look at your transcript and compare it to the university's existing credit equivalency database. If a course has not been evaluated and added to the equivalency database, then the admission counselor reviews the course outlines and sometimes consults faculty to determine transfer credit. Note that we are not available or able to offer pre-assessments of transfer credits or admissibility. To learn which and how many transfer credits you will receive, you need to apply and submit all the required documents and transcripts. Successful applicants are notified of their transfer credit in their offer of admission letter. The exception to this is the Bachelor of Engineering. Because of the program's accreditation standards, transfer credits may take longer to assign and are assessed after admission. For transfer students who have studied in a degree program, we typically grant transfer credit for all successfully passed courses. If you've previously earned an undergraduate degree, you will be able to receive a maximum of 10 credits towards a second degree. For transfer students who have studied in a diploma program, we assign credit where possible, up to 5 credits for a completed 2-year diploma and up to 10 credits for a completed 3-year diploma. Typically, students take 2.5 credits at a full-time semester course load and 5 credits in a year. When a student has completed a course in an academic discipline or subject area that we don't offer at Guelph, transfer credit is still considered, and generic elective transfer credits are assigned. So, for example, a second-year social work course from another institution would usually be assigned as a second-year social sciences elective transfer credit at the U of G because we don't have a social work program. It's important to highlight that 10 credits is equivalent to 4 semesters or 2 years of full-time study at university. However, you must be aware that if you are granted 10 credits, that doesn't necessarily mean that all the credits are usable and you're entering the 3rd year of a program. You may have to catch up by taking some first and second year level courses. Now we're going to briefly touch on pathway and articulation agreements. For a complete list of our pathway and institution-specific articulation agreements, please use the QR code on screen now. A pathway is an agreement that links graduates of certain diploma programs to a degree program in a same or similar field. There may be specific admission requirements that differ from general college transfer requirements. Pathway programs have been pre-assessed for transfer credit. Upon admission, students receive a standard block of credit towards their degree program. Now that we've covered admission information, I want to share a brief overview of student life at Guelph. University is so much more than your academic program. Your experience outside of the classroom are just as important. While I mentioned that the university is commutable for many, if you do want to live on campus, we have some great options for you. Transfer students are welcome to apply for U of G housing. There are 15 student residences to choose from on the north, east, and south sides of campus. All of our residence buildings are within a 5 to 7 minute walk to the center of our campus. I had a single room in my first year in South Residence where my mom and I prepped all summer long, picking out the best laundry bag, the cutest rug, and the coziest twinkly lights. All these homey touches really made my room feel like a home away from home. Many transfer students like the townhouse and apartment style residences because they have kitchens and allow for a more independent living. I lived in a townhouse in my last 2 years at Guelph. My room overlooked the University of Guelph Arboretum, which is 400 acres of nature and trails. If I ever needed a study break, luscious greens and chirping birds were right outside my door waiting to greet me. Living in a house with your friends, having a kitchen and a dining room and a living room with only a 7-minute commute down a beautiful brick pathway was an absolute dream. Living in residence that had a dining hall in it, my friends and I had a tradition of getting a late night snack, whether it was a strawberry banana smoothie, a gourmet crepe topped with whipped cream from Windows Cafe, or a slice of hot pepperoni pizza at Mountain Dining Hall, calling it our second dinner. The food was just that good. You can use your meal plan both on and off campus at over 40 locations combined, and you can pick from 5 different meal plan offers offered to suit your dining hall needs, and it works just like a debit card. As the hospitality representative for my last 2 years, I was interviewed by Maclean's Magazine, who ranks as #1 for best campus food in Canada for over 10 years in a row, where I was able to boast about how accommodating hospitality is with their halal, kosher, and gluten-free options. Being their student link, I ensured that the student voices were always heard through working with managers and making student suggestions come to life. But what really blew me away was the commitment to sustainability and local food. Every Wednesday, our chefs go to a local produce auction where they bid from farmers for the freshest fruits and most vibrant veggies to make international flavors with local ingredients. The infamous butter chicken is a family recipe from one of our esteemed international chefs. And on Wednesdays, I would get the butter chicken in a reusable container to go, where I would drop them off at any hospitality location after class. In our bright and modern athletic center, my friend and I attended Zumba with Steph or Step and Core with Jeff. I access the gym with my energy membership, which is only $55 a semester. Athletics doesn't end with the fitness center. We also have a stunning 40-foot rock climbing wall, 2 ice rinks in our on-campus arenas, 2 huge swimming pools, and indoor and outdoor fields. We also offer a variety of varsity sports, and if you're thinking about playing on a team, I would encourage you to visit griffins.ca to get in contact with the coach. We also offer an intramural program that over 10,000 students participate in every year. There are multiple levels of difficulty to fit your experience levels. I never considered myself athletic in high school and did not participate in intramurals until my last year, but wish I had joined sooner. I played on the Just for Fun multi-sport team where we played a different sport every week. We played traditional sports like badminton and hockey and more unique ones like spikeball and dodgeball. Playing a new sport every week was tons of fun. And even though I didn't get very good at flag football or basketball, no surprise really, I love that with every new sport we got closer, became stronger, and grew as a team. With over 200 clubs and organizations on campus, it is very easy to get involved, feel supported, and find friends with similar interests. I even tried out for Quidditch, broomstick and all. Find your people at Griffin's Read or join a student government, the Future Vets Club, or represent your residence hall like I did. There's a club for everyone. If you have any questions after today's webinar, please feel free to connect with us. My email is transferinfo@uofguelph.ca, and you can find that on screen now. And for any transfer student experience inquiries, you can chat with Jen, and her email is on screen now too. Some other ways to connect with us. So our Transfer at Guelph event is a day on campus exclusively for prospective transfer students and applicants. And at this event, you will have the opportunity to connect with our recruitment and admissions team, learn and ask questions about the transfer process, explore our campus, and attend the Transfer Student Resource Fair. So please mark your calendars, and the registration will be live coming soon. You can also book a 15-minute meeting with myself during the week and register for our Transfer at Guelph event using the QR code on screen now or by visiting the link below. I hope you've enjoyed the webinar, and if you have any questions, please stick around and I can hopefully answer them. But thank you all for attending and for listening.